Okay, mic should be on. Everything appears to be fine dandy. Let's get rid of the usual text, which is this and that. There we go. Friend on board. Hello?
Hello.
Hello! Right, we're back for some more AC Charity. Because apparently this game is still dragging on. God damn it. Right, let me just go get the game ready.
5 cases.
Because all the other games have 5 cases, it would look weird.
Also, it has to be either 3 or 5.
No, there's no such thing as 3. That'd be wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, like, generally for video games.
Oh, yeah. Rules of numbers, whatever. There's no such thing as rules of 4. That doesn't exist.
Unless it's like tied to elements or anything, but otherwise.
In games in general, I can't think of rules of 4 by default.
Yeah. I mean, with co-op, it's like co-op players are usually limited to 4, then you kind of get 4 classes for that, but otherwise, yeah.
Well, there's the rare games that do 5 co-op, which is a thing, just not very common.
Yeah, it feels like more common for competitive versus, but it's 5 versus 5.
Yeah, definitely. Still, argument being. Right.
How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas.
Well, the whole thing is don't be gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. White, let me offer you a word of advice.
Yes?
A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defense is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that.
Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her.
And that is...
You're not a defense attorney.
I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright.
First trial without FA helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Oh, and Emma.
That's it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way.
And Emma. She's basically just filling the void.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't have that much trust in her right now.
Me neither. Her views of being scientific is very off.
Yeah.
I'd say it's about on point with the scouts' descriptions of being scientific.
Wait, when is this got doing descriptions about being scientific?
There's a couple of fan videos that are really valid, so...
Okay. Court is now in session for the trial of Mrs. Lena Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor.
Edgeworth. Just another recap in case you forgot. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial.
I hope that personal feelings will not be part of the proceedings today, Mr. White. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything.
As if.
However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand.
Cough-up queen?
Haven't I seen you somewhere?
You ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Oh, caviar. I never eaten caviar before.
The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a Fiesta bowl. Thanks?
The witness state her name and profession.
Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox?
It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please.
Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
Oh, so this is why everybody raves about caviar. It's so tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled
Tapioca, I think?
tapioca.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. Oh, what the heck does pickled tapioca taste like?
Name, profession, now.
Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth?
Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating.
Hurry it up!
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I blanked out there. I'm too used to it now. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police.
Huh, that's very specific. How'd she end up in this position?
She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Mrs. Star was a detective? Ah! I know who you are. Cough up.
Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Okay, now the name makes sense.
Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star.
Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks.
I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes?
The crime took place by a car in the back of A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness, and an arrest was made on the spot.
And who was this brilliant witness?
Why, it was me, Your Honor. Okay, sorry, I have to point this out. You can't be both the witness and the person providing the information. That's not quite how that works. There'd be some biased information being delivered here, wouldn't there?
Yeah. That's confusing here, but yeah.
So that's into it, I guess.
To be fair, when has conflict of interest ever stopped anything in Ace Attorney until now?
That is a fair point.
Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime?
Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor.
It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright.
I can't agree on your principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining?
If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star.
Wait, are they talking about me? Alright, here we go. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend, when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. the chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest.
Bring a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman.
It's a very poor attempt at being clever there, mate.
It's based on the fact that he isn't.
That's fair. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that.
It's merely a fresh wound, Mr. White.
'Tis but a scratch.
Yeah. Well, Mr. White, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay, let's just check our evidence first before we do anything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Alright, what we got? Just any new information. Autopsy. Yeah, look at that. 36. Cause of death, lots of blood from chest wound. Wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. Single stab wound. Okay, it's all lining up correctly. Just making sure. You never know when an autopsy might be off.
Yeah, but this isn't the updated one yet, so it's worthless anyway.
Good point. Well, it's not worthless right now. It still has some use.
Yeah.
This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend. You have several.
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches. Thanks. Help yourself. The judge had to think before replying.
The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block.
So, she was in B block, which witnessed the crime.
Okay, seems to be lining up just fine. Yeah, I gotta press that. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of a detective intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
Young cheese?
Pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be yellow and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the idea of an old cheese to match.
He's definitely a moldy blue cheese, isn't he? In any case, there, in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. Okay, that still doesn't really answer the question, but whatever.
Yeah.
By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant?
Sorry, I keep blanking out. I'm too used to you being in this position now. God damn it.
You know how it feels now.
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed.
And just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick.
We're dealing with Edgeworth here. I need something more substantial than that.
Can you tell us what the suspect was doing when you saw her?
I would like present. Well, I don't think actually I have anything to present. Do I? For the
I don't think I can present it, but
I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing for her hand really. So there's
yeah,
nothing
but
to
I
present.
think you can press it.
Yeah, I can press it. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all.
Well, yes, that's about right.
Who measures their knives? Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. These fucking lunches. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor.
So, the defendant was holding a knife. What then?
I want to point this out now because I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be able to achieve it. There is actually an achievement in this game for if you, I guess, persuade her enough. She brings out multiple varieties of lunchboxes. There's an achievement for getting her to pull out every single type she has.
Oh god.
Like actually pull out lunchboxes, mind you, not just saying. So she has a lot of lunchbox variants.
Yeah.
Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no?
The defense has a point.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see.
It's only fish one, Mr. Wright. We can make it.
You said that before. Anything else?
Scientifically speaking, Miss Star's testimony is flawless.
Sounds pretty failed to me.
What do we do? Is my sister guilty?
Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer.
Don't smile like that.
Okay, is there anything we haven't pressed?
Maybe... Did you press the first one?
Pretty sure I did. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy.
The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted.
Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that.
Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors?
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Well, you may continue, Miss Starr.
I think there was a bit of bias in there somewhere.
Press X.
Okay,
we did the boyfriend.
Hang on, I just want to check. No. I'm just trying to see where there's a bit with the wall. I think I'm jumping ahead here. That's going to be a factor at some point. But right now, it's not blocked off. She can still see the car from where she would be standing. So it's not blocked at all in any way. It will be relevant later. I'm just trying to see if it's relevant right now or not. Should I press this again, considering she said it's a garage car? Just now she clearly has a bias.
I don't know.
Nothing inherently wrong here. I can't see the issue. This is probably a case where we have to press on something again now.
Maybe.
As to what? I do not know.
I mean, I know that...
Oh, go on.
There should be something about the wounding on the left hand.
get that, but there's nothing here actually pointing towards it. We got no evidence really to point out said wound on the hand, I don't think.
Okay, apparently you have to now press the fourth one again.
Alright, let me count that first.
Should be the fence.
By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it?
Indeed, it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. She's telling the truth. We're doomed!
Wait, okay, we're just going back to this now.
Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
That was inspiring. I believe I've had the tickling answer. You could cry plagiarism?
I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed.
Photograph, you took this.
The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck.
Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now?
You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? I think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs.
Well, this is most certainly the defendant.
Yeah, there's something off now. Now we have a photo of her hand. Uh-oh. That is unmistakably Lana Skye.
So, what was the defendant doing at the time?
So, I guess we can... I mean, do we need to present on the photo with us?
Yeah.
That's all we got, really.
Yeah, because she isn't holding it here.
Alright, let me make a safety save. So far, nothing's led up to that injury to her hand, so this is all we can do.
Yeah.
Did you witness this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fun lunch.
But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph.
The time it makes me laugh.
I gotta think of variants for that. This is the photograph you took at the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife?
Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection.
It's the most down-to-earth, normal objection I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That'd be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth.
Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. Duh.
And how can you tell that? Blood spatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph!
Oh, yes, it is hard to tell, but this could be blood.
Nah, you see, it's a ketchup stain. Obviously.
Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here.
No problem, except you.
Wait. can Wright did say edge of the Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse?
Got a better idea? Fuck it. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Oh, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go.
Good advice. Sure, I understand it, but good advice.
I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know?
Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on?
Do you look like a good chief prosecutor? I don't know.
If it was not predeterminated, she would not be wearing those gloves.
Ah!
Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder. A serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
I got nothing really to go against for evidence on it, so we'll have to press it. Or right now. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves?
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies.
In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah!
Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the first, mister.
This is bad. She's got them thinking this is all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated.
Sunday Flash one.
You already said this. Okay, let me check the knife. Yeah, no prints. Shit. It's always the fingerprints on the knife. That's usually what gets it, but nothing. Fuck.
Maybe read the second statement again.
Second statement?
Of the of the knife, the sentence or statement.
Oh shit, sorry, went over by accident. Hang on.
If you go to the court records again.
I don't know.
For the knife.
Traces of victim's blood, no prints. I don't see the...
In Etrov's toolbox.
I don't see the problem here, though. Okay, whatever.
It's because she didn't... because it's Etrov's knife. Why didn't she have her own murder weapon and relied on...
I mean, that's valid, but also at the same time, you know, you could just pin someone for it. I don't know. Nearest available weapon. I don't know.
You have to do it because...
It's all we got.
Yeah.
Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk.
Indeed, it is my knife.
Not just me. There's children here!
Oh, they really shouldn't have children here.
I think in Japan this is more like... I think this is like the equivalent of a Judge Judy event.
Oh, yeah.
The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, Rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves.
Seems like a natural conclusion to me. Those gloves do indicate planning.
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon.
Should have used the finger. Order, order, order!
Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor.
Great job, Mr. Wright. Is this as good as free?
It's not over that easily.
Yeah. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie.
What?
I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tides have turned. Not over such a trifling detail.
But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is the lunch lady over there. The defendant Lana Skye murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else.
Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing...
I believe I would like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us what you saw, not what you thought.
How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Right, the real witness. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in and again and again. Ah, she's already slipped.
Yeah.
Her bias is slipping again.
The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered the pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may not cross-examine the witness. I mean, if you kill him afterwards, then yeah, it was planned.
I mean, it's premeditation if you plan to eat the pizza.
Yeah, I think it's like, once you kill it and the fact that you did kill it before, like, then proves that it was planned. If you just don't kill it, then obviously you didn't plan on doing it because you didn't. Yeah.
Anyway, her bias is slipping through very badly here. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait. Mr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Wait, the autopsy is actually accurate?
Uh-huh. You're right. Good show, Mr. Etroff.
He stole our thunder!
Yeah, but I need to mute myself a bit now.
Alright. Yeah, it takes a second. I'm sure it's like a quick second. Shouldn't be too long. Don't think I need to bring up the pause menu, maybe? Ah, fuck it. Let's see. There you go. Just a quick second. I'll just sit here and wait till he comes back. Shouldn't be long. Any second now. Any mere moment now. It's like being solo again. It can't be that long. It's usually an in and out. Maybe. Jeez. Alright, I severely underestimated this. I would ask questions, but there's no one here. He doesn't need much. Okay, well, we'll just keep going until he comes back, I guess. What about my objection? No one noticed? Literally steals our fucking thunder. You got the crime scene set, right? I just want voice Plimer's roles. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now, I realize that such mistakes are possible. When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. A red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Muffler? The fuck's a muffler? I'm assuming she means like her coat. But, what's all that stained on the coat? I'm assuming that is what she's referring to. I'll just make it safe here.
Okay, thanks, sorry about that.
Yeah, it wasn't that long. Okay.
And can we talk about the muffler now?
Yes, okay, so muffler, I'm assuming she's referring to as the coat, not the jacket she's wearing, I guess? Whatever.
No, it would be like a scarf.
She's not wearing one.
I think that's the point.
Either way, I would provide the correct evidence.
Yeah.
Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. For fuck's sake.
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work.
He's stealing all our thunder. What?
The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph.
Huh? But that can't be.
Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Wow, Edgeworth, don't go to single lunch ladies now because she's incapable. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Miss Edgeworth prevails.
What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there. A scarf. No, not that, but something red, really.
Well, now, where were we? The witnesses give us an entertaining interlude, but back to business.
What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony.
The most important part?
The part where your sister stabs the victim? This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Alright, the real truth this time.
We're on the first day. Nothing about what will be happening here today.
After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. Okay, there are many issues here.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks.
Not so. Mr. Wright is weak against personal snake bites.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Let's imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator. This one. A leopard woman. Row.
Mr. White, yeah, cross-examination, if you will.
Okay. How she managed to get, like, physically right through the fence? There's a literal fence wall in between her and the other side. Okay, I'll press here first before doing anything.
Yeah.
You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Yeah, please do.
It's almost, this is so weird, it's like, should I just not press them? Something's clearly up here.
Well, this is why you press first. There's no harm to pressing.
Yeah.
Well, unless it's a particular case, but that's not relevant right now. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was...
She was a visit. Thus, she was parked in B plug.
So, you witnessed the murder from here?
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes.
Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right.
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing. The cut-up queen. Lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So, she could have gotten to my sister that fast.
Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. And there is a bit of a gap there, I'll give you that. So how did Miss Sky not get away? You say she was on side B. Okay, well at least we cleared that up. So we got that information. It's probably relevant later. So where is this partition on the floor plans?
I'm sure she means this wall next to the car.
That's right. There's a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do.
And what did you do then?
It's probably why we're pressing all this. If we don't, we probably won't be able to do it right. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word. So, what you've heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else?
Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Phone? She can't mean... Yeah, press on that. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately.
Ultimately?
My memory... It's like a salmon, heading upstream, you see.
No, the car doesn't seem a star.
The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car. There was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And sure she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness.
But you'd only be able... There's some logic failure here. Instinctually, you'd use your mobile phone first. Then, if that doesn't work, you use the emergency phone. Not the other way around.
Yeah.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Okay. just double check the times here.
Oh. You can press on that, or you may actually just pretend it like she couldn't have seen the phone call because it was behind the wall.
That's a good point, yeah.
If you go back.
Oh, sorry. So press her again on here.
No, go further front. One more. No, wait. Did you not add this? Oh yeah, there's this.
So press her on here.
Yeah.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
I was going to ask the same thing.
I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. Except you couldn't fucking see that.
Yeah, exactly. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright?
That's all the evidence we need. Okay, so I guess I present on the map?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye.
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarried by personal bias.
Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What?
Order. What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
It's quite a claim, Mr. White. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court.
Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about where she ordered, pretty much. Yeah, where she saw it. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it.
Pointless to lie. I see.
But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location.
A different location? No, that's the pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it.
Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. White. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Starr witnessed this crime was here.
Also, hi, Kev, who's that?
I missed it. I missed it. It was from YouTube. Well, hi anyway.
And yeah, so it's a good game, so agree, even though it's sometimes a bit fun to make fun of all the plot holes a bit.
This is the only place where she could have been.
The security guard room. Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot. It's well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot.
Except there's no window that I can see.
I mean, I think it's like above, because when you
Oh
see
yes,
like
right, it's
the
an
low edge.
observation. I forgot it's an observation room.
She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone.
Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony, you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel Starr.
Order, order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better.
I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails.
Which actually is weird because she saw the crime. She shouldn't be able, like, she shouldn't need to tell lies about it to get the guilty verdict. But she fucked up anyways.
Guilty? She talking about Miss Sky?
Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why? This Mr. Lie. It doesn't make sense. Actually, the game actually tests this as well.
Ah. Huh?
She would have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim.
I don't see no body. You?
That truth still stands.
It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason.
So, tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright.
Huh? Me?
Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from the B block. Must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? It's either the angle or the distance.
I think that this...
The distance doesn't make any sense. Let's check the map itself, we can see it ourselves.
I mean, I'm sure how well lit it is, but I mean, if she's further away, that's for sure. The angle is also different because, you know, look from top, but it...
From there, she can't see the car. See, there's no way for her to actually see her doing the murder.
Oh, yeah, yeah. She probably could only see, like, the top half of it.
She only saw the aftermath, not the murder itself. So it's the distance. Oh, the angle view, sorry.
Yeah, probably.
Why? The angle at which she saw the crime occur would change.
The angle? What do you mean?
Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime.
And this is important. Why?
Come on.
Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright.
I gotta fuck up at some point. I'm definitely in the right here. There's no way for her to actually see it, so it's one of these things. Let me make a safety save so I don't keep fucking up. It should be the angle of view, though. Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime.
My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the gas station is very. That's.
Hang
I
on.
don't see how.
Roll with it, just roll with it, maybe they'll explain it. Still doesn't feel right.
Also, that absolutely is not an accurate map then, because the distance you see is way larger than what you've previously shown with the other room.
Just roll with it, let's just see where it goes.
I don't see how that will change, but she could see.
What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Oh, that's a good point, it would take a bit longer. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime, where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness.
You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? Quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Bosenberry for the boyfriend.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Still... And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Jesus, it's really far away. It's quite a time gap, though.
Yeah.
That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block.
That's quite a detour.
It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes?
I don't like it.
This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the sport is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely.
This is bribery.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something.
Yeah, I think the ticket stub or something related to the timestamp. It's too long. Too big of a gap. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange?
Strange.
If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I would flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. Miss Sky dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah.
Well done. It seems you come to the end of this testimony.
Have we?
The witness had a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately,
2 witnesses in a row? Unheard of.
I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed the can shut, Mr. Wright.
That was too close.
We get like in 1 cent every time he says that. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned.
I felt like that cut off a little bit too early. Oh, no, there it is. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? It's the one she tried to foist off of me!
I prefer to not take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say?
I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
What was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star.
Is this your jumbo lunchbox?
Oh, triple decker. Out of differential the witness's domination, I'll allow one more testimony.
This is bribery!
Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Objection, Your Honor!
Objection overruled.
Like the lunch lad motto says, you won't be disappointed. Is she going to pull out of a lunchbox this time? I knew it was ending too soon. That was way too easy to give up. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. One was of course the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. Yeah, except it ain't.
What? There was blood found on that shoe.
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness, what is the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with my with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed.
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence.
Neither can I. What?
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensic department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen.
You could at least study some evidence law, really?
That's more Edgeworth's thing.
But we bring in evidence all the freaking time, nobody complained. Almost as if this was written afterwards. Yeah. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Well, well, Mr. White, you may cross-examine the witness.
Alright. So, where did this blood come from?
Yeah.
That's my question. Let's see. Okay, let me make a safety save in case I'm not jumping the gun again. Because fuck you on this one.
Nothing to do has
Ah. Okay. Hang on. This is right. This is why I made the safety save. There you go. Nothing happened.
To mention that it was the injury first. But yeah, just press on that in this first statement.
The first statement.
Not this one. The one where she talks about the blood.
So, you brought it to the forensics department? If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analysed by a forensics expert. She got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective.
The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it.
Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Okay, now you clarified that.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Yeah,
okay.
press this one. Just press it first.
Just be safe. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie. Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood.
That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types of other blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just 1 person. Also I had.
That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results, but they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies.
So, the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman.
I was afraid he was going to say that. Right, now we can present. Because where's this blood fucking coming from? What? Not? What? Where's this blood coming from? What's going on here? I'm in the right here, I know I am. Where is this blood coming from? If this is her blood, okay, where's the wound?
What's the 5th statement?
Hang on, we'll count it. 3, 5.
Okay, then press it.
Can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup.
Mr. Wright, do you or do you... Don't you have a problem with this shoe?
Problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Yes, there is. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes.
Maybe we should actually look at it first, because we can do that now.
What, the shoe itself right now?
Yeah, if you like check it out.
I actually haven't done that yet. Forgot about this feature. Oh yeah, there's 2 stains here.
It's my sister's, right?
It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail.
Oh yeah, it actually was her right hand.
Yeah? But still, in that picture, you can see both hands, and none of them are cut.
Yeah. Press this.
I'll go ahead and do the other one.
Yeah. There's blood here too.
On the sole of the shoe? It's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. Wait a minute, his?
This blood, it's horrible.
This blood might be an important clue. Hang on a minute. His? So this is Goodman's shoes.
Yeah. But I think we kind of established that already.
I don't think she actually mentioned whose shoe this was. I give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. It's the one at the bottom, I think, because of the oil dump that was leaked. And it should have washed the weight.
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Kinky.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of the shoe?
Now, we don't have one for the barrel. I'm assuming there's one on the floor plans? No, not really.
Yeah, it's the crime photo. Not the packing group, but the crime photo that she made.
Oh yeah, there's no barrels there. Weird. Oh no, there is one. No, not still. Okay, no, I see. Oh, there's no blood on the floor.
It's that one.
Yeah, okay. Okay, this is a very roundabout way proving that she didn't get blood on her hand. Okay, okay, I'm starting to see why you have issues with this particular episode. I feel like this was made by a different dev team. If that makes any sense. Like, they had all the tools, but it was made by a different group. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe.
This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints.
Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort.
Order! Well, witness.
What?
Great going, Mr. Wright, but it is true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction, but then you have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh.
That's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. White, think! Oh shit, I actually was there before.
Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just gonna find contradictions.
But
He didn't. Okay, weird.
I see. Now I get it.
Get what?
Our witness is more devious than I give her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Wow.
Actually, isn't bad, just so cute, which is something that's what she's going for. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do.
No kidding.
Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil dump, was it empty?
Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness, well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean?
Still don't get it, Mr. White. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Oh, you don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would have become evidence against her.
Ah!
That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's speciality. Erasing evidence. That reminds me. This guy's right hand was hurt. Oh, now they're bringing it up!
Yeah.
Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him?
So, that's... When my sisters got blood on the shoe, Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please.
What? What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it.
But enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But it just dies on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
Wait for it. Zuko, what did you just say?
Me?
Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side?
Well, yeah, you are. You think my sister hid evidence by wasting the bloody footprints.
Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this. Jesus Christ, the amount of evidence she has.
A photograph.
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room of error in this evidence.
Why didn't she just provide both evidence at the same time? They had this whole debate whether or not it was actual proof fact or not, and then there's a picture. For fuck's sake.
Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo.
Hey, it's clearly wet.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all.
It's not your fault. I knew you couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia.
Right or not? Don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end.
This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I would like to declare a verdict for good.
There it is. Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore?
You will if you slam down that gavel.
Whatever it is. Can it wait?
No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with the latest piece of evidence?
Yeah. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose since we've come this far, we should give it every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. White. Show the court the problem in this photograph.
The muffler, there's something in there, right?
Yeah.
The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait, just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe. I see, and I see. What's that suspicious looking glove sticking out of the car's muffler?
So what if there is something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
It's the phone.
Yeah.
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Ah! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh. Ah!
Well, it seems you will have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about the piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered, here, do we have... We do this service to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once, and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so.
That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
Still hungry? Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
That was dragged out. Alright, we're gonna call it now because I want to see it.
I was about to think the same.
It's half. Okay, so for some reason during this entire time, I've been constantly yawning, and I have no fucking idea why. It's one of those. You ever have one of those cases where you're just yawning for no fucking reason?
Yeah. I mean, I often have a reason, which is I'm tired, but yeah.
Me right now makes no fucking sense because this hasn't applied to any previous stream, so I don't get it either. Right, that'll do for a stream. So check back next time on Wednesday, which just so happens to be my birthday, by the way. So timing. I don't have anything planned, so we'll just do Ace Attorney if we're doing that. I don't know what's happening on birthday, to be honest.
That's fair, yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, till next time, more Ace Attorney. So till then, bye all.